So, Susan stepped down as CEO of YouTube a little while ago. That means things are finally going to improve, right? Neil Mohan is way worse. Susan may have been CEO since 2014, around when YouTube was beginning to fall, but this asshole is the mastermind behind many of YouTube's shitty decisions since 2015. I mean, sure, his intentions in trying to fight extremist content is good on paper, but in execution, YouTubers for the past few years have had to walk the tightrope between two extremes. Either one, you make content so family-friendly that it ends up being flagged as made for kids, severely limiting the ads you get, or two, you make content that trips the community guidelines ever so slightly, and you get that video demonetized as a result. You most definitely heard that song and dance millions of times from your favorite YouTubers over the past 6 years, so I won't bother repeating it. Basically, YouTube's been complete dog shit for years, and with no competition, they continue to get away with whatever the fuck they want. Twitter has been crumbling ever since Elon took over, but it has been slowly dying since other social media platforms actually exist where people could actually run to. People can't exactly run away from YouTube. There are no alternatives. There are alternatives, I hear you say. Yeah, nobody uses them. Name me one fucking person who uses Dailymotion. What about Vimeo? Does that even count? See, look, this is fucking stupid. I hear you asking, what about those alt-tube sites like Vidly, Trackle, Vlare, shit like that? Let me tell you a secret, buddy. Alt-tube sites will never fucking work! First off, some guy isn't going to have the bandwidth that Google has for YouTube. Second off, let's take a look at Vidly's most popular videos. Oh, that's fucking nice. Racist, ableist, neo-Nazi bullshit. No company with the resources to host your videos would ever want to buy you out. No advertiser would ever want to put their name on here other than those porn ads and scammers. It's complete garbage and will never work. Then what will work? Good question. That doesn't exist yet, but we can theorize what could happen. I personally think it'd be by another company in the Big Five. Google obviously wouldn't make a second YouTube, so we're ruling them out. Meta had Facebook Gaming, but not only is it dead, but also more so competed with Twitch, not YouTube. I highly doubt Meta's planning on making a video sharing site anytime soon, since they're too busy burning all their money right now. Even so, I feel like it'll just go the same way Facebook Gaming went anyway. I can't really see Apple making some sort of YouTube competitor since the content wouldn't really live up to their high standards. As for Amazon, they could definitely try giving Twitch an entire video section, which I'm sure would do well. Twitch is already debatably bigger than YouTube for streaming, so they definitely do have the user base for it. Twitch does have its own problems though, so who knows how much of an improvement Twitch would even be over YouTube. That leaves us with the last of the Big Five, Microsoft. Okay, hear me out. There's a very good chance that it could tank the platform, but compared to everyone else in the Big Five, they have the biggest chance of creating a competent YouTube competitor, even if the chances of overtaking them are next to zero. Microsoft easily has the money to create and maintain a YouTube competitor. I could definitely see them try to attempt it in the future, and they have a ton of ways to promote the platform. I know you're going to mention Mixer and how that failed miserably. They did have a few good ideas with Mixer, but they didn't execute them correctly. Microsoft does tend to learn from their mistakes when it's losing the money, such as what happened with Windows 8, so I could see them being a little more lenient as to what goes on the platform. That way, they can win over people who hate how strict YouTube is. The only problem will end up being trying to get people to actually use the platform, kinda like what happened with Edge and Bing. I would think they promote it on every Windows PC that could possibly push an update to, for better or for worse. It could easily become another Microsoft service that pisses people off, but there's a good amount of people who would actually use it. I mean, look at Bing. It's been steadily rising in usage for the past few years due to people actually hearing it's competent, and the fact Google has been fucking over results as of late. If people hear that the Microsoft video sharing site is actually good, they might actually sign up and give it a try. They might also integrate stuff for it into the Xbox as well, which would be cool in its own right. I have my doubts they'd overtake YouTube, or even win over 15% of its users, but it'd be a competent competitor nonetheless. There's also the possibility that TikTok creates its own competitor to YouTube, which I'm sure would succeed in its own right. TikTok was already being used by billions of people worldwide, and even YouTube Shorts succeeded for YouTube when they did the opposite, whether you liked Shorts or not. TikTok has its own share of problems though. I have no doubt it could compete with YouTube, maybe even overtake it, but I have a feeling it tried to censor more than YouTube does, most likely just because of the Chinese government and stuff. TikTok also doesn't have the same monetization system that YouTube has, unless they try to implement one for long-form videos, which I doubt. All in all, TikTok is just one huge maybe. So, what do I think? I don't fucking know. This video is all just a bunch of wishful thinking after all. I hate seeing YouTube make shitty decision after shitty decision with nowhere for people to run to. Microsoft, Amazon, or TikTok can try to make a competitor, but unless YouTube literally self-destructs and never comes back online, no one will ever compete with them. They're too popular. Everyone's on it. The only possible way of a competition is through word of mouth. If a company actually does make a good YouTube competitor, tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. Tell your fucking dog about it. Nothing's ever going to change unless we stand up against YouTube. And even if nobody actually overtakes YouTube, there's a pretty good chance they'll listen to us in a panic once people actually start leaving YouTube for one of their competitors.